Hey everybody, it's poetry time. Get ready with your poetry page that looks like mine and your highlighter, scissors, glue stick, and poetry journal. So you may have noticed doing your word work this week that there are several different letter combinations that you can use or that words use to make that long U sound. In these poems, we see two of those different ways of making the long U sound. The first way, the most common way, is, for example, in this word, brute, where you have the U and then a consonant and then the silent E at the end. Remember, the silent E makes the vowel say its name. And then the other way that we have the long U sound created is in this word, food. The long U sound is created by a double O. Okay, so that's two different ways. One other way that I can think of is a U and an I together, like in the word fruit. I'll just write it down here. Fruit. F-R-U-I-T. There's another word. Okay, we don't have that word in our poems though. So what we're going to do is we are going to read the poems together. I want you to read along with me. And then, as always, we will highlight our words with the long U sound and then come back together and check them. So let's start with this poem at the top called Duke. We see a picture here of a girl with a dog. So I'm guessing, before I even read the poem, that Duke is a dog. Okay, let's read together. My dog is such a hungry brute. His begging may seem rude, but for his size he must consume a huge amount. Oh, they missed a word here. A huge amount of food. That word of should be in there. So I'm just going to write it in. Okay, now I want you to pause your video and take your highlighter and highlight all the words with that long U sound. So did you highlight all of the same words that I did? I highlighted Duke at the top because that's obviously the name of the dog, but that word Duke isn't used anywhere else in the poem. So I went ahead and highlighted that one. I also highlighted the word brute and rude and consume, huge, and food. Okay. Now there are some good vocabulary words in this poem. Can you tell what they mean from the words around them? I'm looking at the word brute. That's not a word you usually see. I wonder what that means. My dog is such a hungry brute, it says. Kind of makes me think of something big. And like this picture, that looks like a huge dog. So I wonder if brute means something kind of big and strong, or someone big and strong. And the other word that caught my eye was consume. He must consume a huge amount of food. What do you think consume means? That is an interesting word too. All right, let's move on to our next poem, which is called My Paper Flute. Go ahead and read with me. I used some tubes of cardboard and lots of super glue. I made a special little flute and played a tune for you. Cool. Okay, so let's go back, stop your video here, and highlight your words. Okay, let's go over the words that we highlighted. I think I got them all. I highlighted used, tubes, super, glue, flute, and tune. Did you get them all? Kind of sounds like fun to make a flute out of tubes of cardboard. Might have an interesting sound to it. Okay, now that we've highlighted, it is time to cut out our poems and glue them with your glue stick into your poetry journal. Okay, happy cutting and gluing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.